You're doing October, November 2023, paper 42, source A, which is related to activity-based costing. Tell me, what do you know by activity-based costing?
Activity-based costing is costs that are allocated based on different activities of the business.
So
They are
what does
increased by
the
a
ABC
cost driver.
costing use?
Yeah.
They use the cost drivers, which is based on activities which cause the overheads to be incurred, right?
Yes.
Okay, what is cost driver?
Cost driver is something that increases the cost of a particular activity.
Okay, that is directly related to that activity. So if I say I'm driving a truck, so what could be the cost driver?
Uh,
The petrol cost and the driver's
Petrol,
cost.
yeah. Yeah.
Are you with me? Now the
Yes.
next one. Come on, read the question. Read the question,
G
please.
Limited manufactures two products, M1 and V1. The company is going to prepare the budget for the coming year. Currently, one single overhead absorption rate is used, which is based on direct labor hours.
So there is
Each product
one
will have a month
absorption rate that is used, and this absorption rate is based on what hours? Direct labor
labor.
hours. Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Read ahead.
Each product will have a markup of 50% in order to improve the setting of selling prices. In a recent budgeting meeting, the finance director proposed to adopt an activity-based costing system in the future.
Okay, so you have two product range. One is M1 and one is V1. They've given you the direct material, direct labor, number of inspection, number of purchase hours, and this is your budgeted overheads, correct?
Yeah, miss.
This is your budgeted overheads. How will you calculate the overhead absorption rate?
Miss, you can calculate the overhead absorption rate based on the labor.
On the labor hours. So what is the formula for calculating the OAR?
Miss, to calculate the OER, it is budgeted activity level by budgeted
Budgeted
this thing,
overheads over the
overhead by
budgeted
activity.
activity level.
Yeah, right.
What is the budgeted overheads?
Budgeted overheads is 5,000 and 8,000.
Overheads. You read this?
Oh yeah, sorry. It is 216,000.
What is the budgeted activity level?
5,000 and 8,000.
Read this.
The direct labor hours.
So you want the direct labor hours. The
Yeah,
direct
miss.
labor hours for M1 and you want the direct labor hours for M2. V1, sorry.
So it'll be 4,000 and sorry, 20,000 and 12,000.
Okay, so 5,000 into 4.
Yeah,
20,000.
and 12,000.
8,000 into 1.5.
12,000.
You sure?
Yeah.
So it will become how much?
32,000.
So what is the OAR?
6.75.
How you have the calculation so soon? Are you copying it from somewhere?
Here in my calculator.
It's $6.75 per labor hour. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So you've calculated the overhead absorption rate if a single rate is used. Now what do they want you to make?
Yes, they want us to prepare a budgeted statement of profit and
Can you
loss.
ask Ms. Ravi to go in, please? Now what do they want us to make?
They want us to prepare the budgeted statement of profit or loss.
Okay, how do you make the budgeted statement of profit and loss?
Yes,
You have
take the
sales
sales and
minus
the
direct
expenses.
material, direct labor, fixed overheads. That is, you minus the total cost,
Yeah,
right? And you will get profit.
yeah,
Are you with me?
yeah.
This they want you to make if which costing is used.
The ABC costing is used.
Read over here properly.
Absorption costing is used.
In absorption costing, what happens?
Mistake, consider all of the total costs in
In
the selling
absorption
price.
costing, you have one single overhead absorption rate. But
Yeah,
in ABC costing, you have different absorption rates for different activities based on the cost driver. Are you with me?
yeah, miss.
Okay, fine. So if I'm making budgeted statement of profit and loss, I will start with what?
Miss with the sales.
With the sales. Where will I get the sales from?
Miss, it's given in the question, you just multiply it with the selling price.
Sorry,
Miss, you multiply with the selling price, with the rate that we got before.
where is the rate?
Missing the part B, miss, we got 6.75, yeah?
But that is the overhead absorption rate, right?
Yeah.
This is used to absorb the overheads.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Miss, so how do we find it?
Okay, read the question properly.
Prepare the budgeted statement of profit or loss for each product with absorption costing is used.
Hmm.
Each product will have a markup of 50% output. Let's say the product has a markup of 50%.
Okay, you have the product has a markup of 50. So they have given us the markup, so I don't know the selling price, correct?
Yes.
I don't know the selling price, so right now we will keep it on hold. Okay, now let's go for the material costs. What is direct material?
This $35 per unit,
So how much it will be?
35 to 5,000,
35
175,000.
into 5,000, it will be 175,000. For V1,
So,
it will be 8,000 into 26.
yeah,
So it
so
will
it's
be
108,000.
108,000. For direct labor,
Yes. Direct labor would be the direct labor rate per unit into 4 into the number of units.
so 5,000 into 4 into 15.
Yeah,
So
that
300,000.
is 300,000. Yeah,
And
and
your
180,000.
8,000 into 1.5 into 15.
180,000.
180,000. Now about fixed overheads. Fixed overheads is
Uh,
absorbed on the basis of.
labor hours.
Okay, so fixed overheads is absorbed on the basis of
Labor
direct
hours.
labor hours. Okay. So for M1, and what is the OAR?
175.
Overhead absorption rate is how much?
6.75.
$6.75. So fixed overheads for M1 would be the overhead absorption rate
Mm-hmm.
into the labor hours
For
into 5,000 into 4.
right.
So it will become $135,000. And for V1 it will be how much?
$6,75 to 8,000 into 1.5.
$6,075 into 8,000 into 1.5. So it will be $81,000. So you can give this working note number 1. Fixed overheads, always remember OAR into activity level.
Yeah, miss.
So it is 135,000 and 81,000. So what is the total cost?
Hold on, let me just calculate.
For M1 it is 610,000.
610,000. Yeah.
For M2 it is
Hold on. It
260,000.
is 469,000. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Now,
Which will be sales minus total cost. Yeah.
no dear, now profit, right?
Yes, sales minus total cost will give us profit. Yeah.
So where will you get? You have sales?
No, so we have to find sales. Yeah.
So how will you find?
But that I don't know.
That is what I'm asking you, right? Profit
Okay.
is what?
Markup is 50%. So total cost, the markup we can find it out. Yeah.
How will you find?
It's 50% of it.
50% of what?
Total cost.
Okay. So it is markup is 50% on cost. Markup
So
and
it'll be
margin helps you to
305,000.
give you the profit.
Yeah.
So this will become how much?
305,000.
And
And 234,500.
sorry, 234,500.
Yeah.
Then
Yes.
sales.
Now we just add the total cost and profit to get the sales. Yeah.
Yes. $915,000.
And 703,500.
703,500. Yeah. This is your
Yeah, that's
balancing
right.
figure. So you found out the budgeted statement of profit or loss if absorption costing is used.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they want you to find what? Budgeted statement of profit or loss if ABC is used. Okay. Come on. First you have sales revenue. Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Your direct material and direct labor would remain the same.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you're going to face issues is the fixed overheads.
Yeah, miss.
Direct material is how much? 175,000 and 208,000, and this is 300,000 and 180,000. Are you with
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, miss.
So wherever you need help is going to be where? Your fixed
Miss,
overheads.
yeah, for the go ahead.
So you will need support in fixed overheads and you want ABC costing, correct?
Yes.
ABC costing tells you what?
Miss, ABC costing tells us that they use separate costs for each activity of the business.
Okay. So you will use separate, you will have a separate overhead rate for each activity of the business. So you have two products, M1 and V1, right?
Yeah, that's right.
This is your total overheads cost.
Yeah, that is the total.
So you have handling the purchase of direct materials.
Mhm.
So this will be split how?
Miss, will be split based off
You have
of
four
the
things, right? You have
yeah.
handling the purchase of direct material. You have inspection and testing of the product. You have supervising of the factory supervisors, and you have setting up of the testing. So I want to know the cost driver for this. Think aram se Anil.
Yeah, miss. Handling the purchase of direct materials would come under direct labor.
Huh?
Would the first one come under direct labor?
Think properly. See, handling the
Mhm.
purchase of direct material.
Purchase orders.
Okay. So handling the purchase of direct material, the cost driver for this will be the purchase order.
Right.
Okay. So the cost driver for this would be the purchase order.
Yeah, miss.
So 43,200. Okay. It has to be split up,
Divided by 45.
divided by 45. Into
Yeah.
20 would go for M1.
Yeah.
So what will be for M1?
Miss, I'm calculating. It's 19,200.
So 19,200 will be the overhead cost for this one.
Mhm.
And into 25 would go for V1.
24,000. Yeah.
So 24,000 would go for V1.
Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now, inspecting and testing of the products. What would be
Inspection
the
would
cost
be
driver
number
for
of
this?
inspections. Number of inspections.
It would be the number of inspections.
Hmm.
Number of inspections is over here. So you have 28,800. You will divide it by how much?
Divided by 50.
Into 20.
Yeah.
So this is 11,520 for this one. And into 30 if you do, so it comes up to 17,000.
17 to 80.
Are you with me?
Yeah, miss.
Come on. Supervising the factory workers.
Uh, labor hours.
Hmm?
Labor hours. We know it'll
Factory.
be the same. Number of machine setups.
Sorry.
No, that's the last one. That's the last one. For this, but I'm not sure what will be this. I
Hmm.
don't know what will be for supervising factory workers.
Think you want to supervise your factory
Inspections again.
workers. If you have factory workers,
Mm-hmm.
factory workers work on what?
Factory workers, yes, they're laborers.
So we are looking to distribute a portion supervising factory workers, right? So
Yeah,
supervising factory workers, the suitable basis for it would be labor hours. Right? So labor
Yes,
hours for M1 would be 5,000 into 4,
yes.
20,000. And labor hours for V1 would be how much?
It would be 8,000 into 1.5.
8,000 into 1.5. So it comes up to how much?
12,000.
12,000.
12,000.
So we will distribute this 96,000 between M1 and V1 in the ratio of 96,000 into 20 by 32, and V1 would be 96,000 into 12 by 32. Yes?
Yes, M1 is 60,000.
Sorry?
M1 is 60,000.
60,000. And M2? V1, sorry,
36,000.
36,000.
36,000.
Now the next one. V1 setting up and testing of machines.
Yeah.
So it would be distributed on the basis of the suitable cost
Number
driver
of
would be
machine
what?
setups.
Number of machine setups. What is our number of machine setups?
12
12
for
by
M1, 18 for V1.
12 plus 18. So it will be 12 by 30 for M1 and 18 by 30 for M2.
Again.
V1, sorry. So it is 48,000 into and 48,000 into. So it becomes how much?
Yeah.
19,200.
19,200.
Machine 1, M1, and 28,800 for V1.
Yes.
So the total overheads, factory overheads for M1 would become how much?
A lot of myself.
109,920.
Mm-hmm.
And for V1, it will
And
become how much?
106080.
080. So the overheads for M1 would become 109,920 and 106,080. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Then you will get your total cost. What is your total cost?
Let me just
Add
open
the
it.
3. So it becomes 175,000 plus 300,000
It's
plus
584,920.
109,920.
584,920.
584,920, and this will become how much?
492,400.
Now profit. It is 50% markup. That means it is
Miss, so
50% on cost.
divided by 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 292, 460.
Yeah. And
Miss, yeah.
247,040. So what will be my sales revenue?
You just add the cost and profit of it.
Yeah, just add the cost and profit.
Eight seventy seven 380.
And for V1,
Miss that to add that one. Miss it is 741, 120.
741, 120. So the only thing that was different over here is that we had calculated the overheads. Instead of writing that overheads of 216,000 with the activity level, that means we took a single overhead rate 6.75, right, into
Yeah,
5,000. So instead of taking this one single overhead rate, we took different overheads, we took separate overheads as per the activity level. Correct?
yeah, Miss, right.
So advise the directors whether or not ABC system should be adopted in setting the selling price. 1 minute, hang on. This is our budgeted statement of profit and loss as per which costing?
Uh, the
ABC.
absorption.
ABC.
Oh, yeah, this ABC.
ABC costing. And this is our budgeted statement of profit and loss as per which costing?
Absorption.
Absorption costing. Now they want you to advise. What do they want you to advise?
Which one?
Whether or not ABC should be adopted in setting the selling price. Support your
Yeah,
answers with
Miss.
reference to C and D. See, if you use absorption costing to set the selling price for M1, you would set a high selling price whereas your cost was lower. So you needed to set a lower one.
Yeah,
So there is a possibility that you would have lose your customers and they would opt for the competitors because you're setting a higher selling price.
yeah,
Okay. As per activity based costing, V1 requires more number of hours and more work. So the costing is more, but we have calculated the costing to be less.
yeah, Miss.
And since we took the cost less, we took the profit less and the selling price less.
Yeah, Miss.
Yeah, as per absorption costing. So tell
Yeah, Miss.
me, should you?
Miss, Miss in ABC, the selling price of M1 will be decreased there, and
Sorry,
V1 will be higher. Miss,
in ABC
if you
costing,
use ABC
calculate the
costing,
selling price, na? Just calculate selling price per unit
higher,
as
Miss.
per absorption. 915,000 divided by 5,000. So it is 183 per unit.
182, yeah.
And here it is 877 300 divided by 5,000. So it is 175.46 per unit. Now calculate as per for V1.
Yeah,
703 500 divided by 8,000. So it is
it's
87.90.
87.94.
And for this 741 120 divided by 8,000. So it is 92.64.
Yeah, Miss.
Now 10. As per absorption costing, the selling price for M1 is how much?
Hold on, Miss. It's 183. 183.
Okay. So as per absorption costing, the selling price per unit is 183 that we have set. But if we take
Yeah,
activity based costing based on the activity, the selling price should be 175.
yeah,
So if we take absorption costing, M1 is overpriced.
yeah,
V1 is underpriced.
yeah, Miss.
Okay. Overpricing means the product is less competitive.
Yeah, Miss.
And underpricing means we lose revenue.
Mhm.
So when I compare the unit selling price based on the activity, I think that we should use and implement the ABC system.
Yes.
Okay, I'm giving you time to write.